let's take the standard costing model, which a lot of large companies apply, and the plans. So they sit down, in I don't know, September time, and they decide what the volume is going to be of product going through the factory and what that mix is going to be. And so they get the sales team in and say, right, okay, you lot, this is your sales. What do you think you can do next year? And it's, it's a really tough year next year.
No,
so,
we need you to sell more than that.
Yeah, terrible. And then eventually these guys in accounts come up and take that model and then put it through the magic costing machine and say, well, there's the standardised model for next year.
Because if we make this much and we've got the cost of the factory, therefore the cost per thing is this much.
That's right, fantastic. And so we've allocated, based on the volume and based on the mix, we've recovered the cost of the machinery through this standardised costing model, and we've recovered the cost of the buying of the raw materials and such, and we've portioned the cost
and
of
IT and HR
based on volume and HR, IT, strategy department, governance department,
marketing.
MDs, market, the whole lot. We've sorted it, guys. So anyway, come January the 1st, clunk, the plan goes live. Come January the 15th, clunk, the plan's dead. Yeah, but what happened is some really simple things happened. Now, of course, the mix changed, because that's just impossible not to change the mix. But that's not all that happened. Because actually what really happened was that they had a fire in one of the departments. Yeah, and a whole lot of stock was destroyed. And what can you do about that? We'll have to buy some more. But were we insured? Oh gosh, no, we weren't insured. Oh no, it was stuff we weren't insured for. Yeah. And before you know it, reality has poured in enough chaos into this plan that certainly by April, it's just a waste of time.
COVID.
It's all gone.
COVID, Brexit.
All the cost of all these things that you've calculated are now completely wrong.
So what you're saying is that you create this
COVID,
complicated plan, and you treat it as attainable, given what you know. But in the fullness of time, there are lots of very unlikely things that can occur.
Yep. Black swan events.
Sort of, yeah.
Nassim Taleb.
And it's not that you haven't considered them. It's the fact they're very unlikely. The fire was very unlikely. The IT blackout was very unlikely.
Yeah. COVID was very unlikely.
And so you hadn't integrated them into your plan.
Yeah.
You'd integrated all the things which were likely to go wrong into your plan.
Yeah.
Ignoring the fact there's a very long tail of very unlikely things.
Yeah.
But the area under that graph, under that long tail, is actually more.
It's quite large.
And it's actually bigger than the things that are likely
Very
to
much
happen.
so.
So it's actually more likely that something unlikely will happen because there's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
So,
and anybody who's run a factory will know that, because every week something happens, something you've not seen before, every week, and the boss goes, why is your factory so crap? And the answer is, there are so many variables, and I don't know what's going to happen next week, and I'll be firefighting, I'll sort it, but I don't know what it's going to be, but there'll be something.
But what if you could have all the brains in the factory working on that problem and working on that change that's pouring in, rather than just you? So rather than you coordinating it, rather than Nelson coordinating, he says, I've got to...
All the ships are making the right decisions all the time.
I can devolve
but within the new context.
So
they don't have to address it, they just have to work around it, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they're now changing their behaviours to account for this new context, the fire.
Yeah.
Right,
well, it's like trying to defend yourself against a whole load of nanobot flying helicopter-y things, compared to just one helicopter you can shoot down.
So you can think
there's like thousands of the things. You never, or like a swarm of mosquitoes. You're never going to be able to stop them all, are you?
Yeah.
And
So
they
you
will
can
just get
imagine two tigers fighting, but you can then think of a tiger fighting a swarm of killer bees.
Yeah,
Tiger's going to have to sit in the river, isn't it?
he is. Yeah,
Just run away. That's the only option he's got.